And I've been asked repeatedly, which is the truth? Were you lying to us then, or are you lying to us now? And well, I suppose the answer is they're both the truth and they're both a lie. It's an estimate, is the factual response. As long as you accept there are pros and cons to any methodology, and as long as you accept that the margin of statistical error, that's what a lot of people forget. It's all fine as long as you understand that, because with certain small tight demos, 18 to 24, you could be looking at a 60-70% margin of error in certain instances. You could be looking. I mean, it's very, very significant if you ever forget that. And people tend to use numbers surgically, as if they're a tool that can be used in that fashion. Hey, you're down 1.4%. Well, my God, you're not anywhere close to getting the edge of statistical error there. And on and on. And it works on the sales front. That's where it's funny, the buyers and the sellers, and the buyers saying, hey, well, you know, you're down, well, of course you could be down 10%. I want compensation. I want, you know, you have not left the margin of statistical error at all. Similarly, people's jobs have been lost and won on the basis of these kinds of factual, well, I won't say errors, but the margin of statistical error. Like here's where the morning man lost his job. Here's where the programmer lost his job or her job. General manager. And by the way, we still haven't left the margin of statistical error. So it's problematic. But there are pros and cons to each. One is continuous measurement, that being PPM, that is not dependent on memory. Diary gets a broader base. Now, my friends at BBM won't like me saying that. It's because with diary, you get a different group of people each week, whereas PPM is a panel and it remains consistent. Now, there is about a 2 to 3% turnover per month, somewhere in that range, but for the most part. Now, that's a challenge, because if you're doing poorly with this panel, uh-oh. You're going to hope that the panel turns over, because you got a problem. And the panels aren't huge, you know, the sample sizes, I'd like to say they were, but it's a very costly technology, so you can only do so much. But conversely, you can look at minute-to-minute trends, like when do people tune out? Like I do a lot of that analysis. If the morning man or drive team talk for too long, when do they tune out? If it's a music station, when do they tune out? It's interesting stuff. You go maybe more than 90 seconds, and guess what? People are gone. So you've got to be careful not to become enamored of the sound of your own voice. It happens, but the PPM can tell us those sorts of things. There's so much more. Forgive me, it's such a complex question that I could go on this for about an hour or more.